to show, like, if you want to run on the Microsoft hosted agent, you need to resolve the earlier error. So how we can resolve the hosted agent? I So as we know that earlier when we trying to execute our jobs on the Microsoft hosted agent, then we were getting this error, okay, parallelism error. So I was not able to run the jobs on the self or Microsoft hosted agents. And whatever Microsoft is providing the agent machines, the virtual machines, there I was not able to run my jobs. After that, I filled this form and submitted to Microsoft team and Azure team, and they have approved this request within 2 and 3 days. So now let's see and we'll try if we can run our jobs on the Microsoft hosted agent. In my previous video, I run the Selenium test cases on self-hosted agent. That is my machine. That is my local machine, my laptop. Now I want to run on the VM machine that is hosted by the Microsoft. Okay. So now to check these things, we will go to this organization, because for this organization, I fill up the request. So I will go to this organization setting. Under the settings, you can go to the agent pools and there Azure pipelines. Okay, Azure pipelines, there are the agents. So hosted agent is online. After that, I will go to the project which I have created under this organization. So that is my test Azure project. And for this project, I have one repository that is important from the GitHub, and I have the pipelines. Okay. So now I will create a pipeline by which I will execute my code on the hosted agent by the Microsoft Azure. So I will click on the new pipeline and then I will select the use the classic editor. So for that I'll click on it. Now I will select the source repository. So GitHub is my source repository and you can select the repository. So I'll run the test automation code. So I will select the repository. You can have any repository and you can select wherever your code is present and that you want to execute on the Microsoft hosted agent, and I will say now click continue. Now I need to apply the configuration template. So my project is the Maven project, so I will apply the Maven. Now I have the task, so pipeline. So one is the my pipeline. So this pipeline name, we can see the new pipeline. Okay, test project Maven CI pipeline, continuous integration. Okay, it's not a deployment, it's an integration. Okay, so test Maven CI new pipeline. Now the agent. So now I will select the Azure pipelines. Okay, this is the Azure hosted agent pool name. Okay, and after that agent specification, out of this pool there are lots of agents, Mac agents, Ubuntu, Windows. So on which one you want to execute? Suppose now I want to execute on Macintosh. I will select the Macintosh, and if I want to execute my automation code on Ubuntu latest, then I will select the Ubuntu latest, and I want to execute the code on the Windows Server 2016 or 17 or latest or Windows 2019. So I will select this one. So you can select any agent out of this Azure pipelines, and this time you will not get the parallelism error. Okay, I have selected this one. Now I will just save this information. Okay, and save it. Now the resource I have already configured and the agent. So for this agent job, this is the agent job new. okay, and agent selection inherit from the pipeline. So whatever pipeline I have created, it will inherit from the pipeline, okay, and the execution plan, okay. So parallelism, none, multi-agent. So multi-configurations, multi-agent. So now as of now I'm keeping as a parallelism none, okay. Timeout 0, and job cancellation timeout 0, okay. Dependencies, I'm not providing any dependency as of now. So if we have any dependency, we can add the dependency here. So if even previous job has failed, so run this job. Now Maven setting, so this is a Maven setting. I have to do task version Maven pom.xml goal. So as of now I will say clean, okay. I will run the clean job, and this is JUnit test result, so which I can see the test result file. Code coverage, I don't want to the code coverage, okay. Now keep it everything as it is. Now this copy files, publish artifact, everything you can keep it as it is. Save, okay, and then you can queue. So queue means you are running this continuous integration pipeline, CI pipeline. So run this pipeline, it will take the default, and if you want to change you can change it, otherwise you can click on the next or run. Now my agent job new is running, so let me check Azure pipeline. This time I'm not getting this error, parallelism error, okay. So I want to show, like, if you want to run on the Microsoft hosted agent, you need to resolve the earlier error. So how we can resolve the hosted agent, I have explained in this video, so you can watch from the starting. So now this job is running Windows, and this is not running on my machine. My machine is Windows 10, and now I am running on the Windows 16. Agent job new is starting, finishing, okay. So now you can see these are the logs: job preparation, system debug time, manage jobs, view. If you want to see the raw log, you can check the log here. So now you can click Maven, so it will give you the detailed log information, and you can see the copy files, task, publish artifact, post, and finalizing job. Now, and this is warning. So DA is empty, nothing will be added to the build artifact drop. So this is just a warning, okay, because on the Windows machine, Microsoft where we are running our job, there is a one Windows machine. On which Windows machine it is running, we can check the build hosted agent, and it was the Windows 2019. On that Windows 2019, there is need to do some configurations to run the Selenium test cases. But my job is completed, and it's no, so it is game. So you don't worry about that. Okay? So now if you want to run this code on the Macintosh, okay. So for that, what I will do, I'll go to again this pipeline, and I'll add it. This pipeline, okay. So now I can change the agent specification. Out of this Azure full configurations, I will select Mac latest, okay, and then you can see change to Mac job, okay, so that I can identify the job which is running. And now I will save, and then just queue. You can check the pipeline configuration again and then run. Mac latest, the image means operating system is the Mac latest. This is VM image, and it will start the executing on this agent. Okay, so starting the initializing the job. Hosted agent is starting. Mac, this is the agent machine name. Okay, you can check the machine detail here. Macintosh, current agent version 2.201, operating system, virtual environment, agent ranging honor. So download task maven, copy files, everything you will see, and just a cleanup job is done. So clean command is done. So just a clean means downloading the uh, dependencies on the Mac machine. Okay, so now I have run on the Mac machine. Now how we can run on the different machines. So now let's run on the Ubuntu machine. So for that again we'll go to the pipeline and Mac job. So again I will update this one. Okay, and Mac job. Now I will say this Ubuntu job. Okay, and job name is will say Ubuntu job. Okay, and save and click. So agent pipelines, everything is same. Just run it, and then we check the status of this job. So you can click on the agent job. Okay, and now it will say, oh sorry, I forget the changing the operating system. So if you want to cancel this build, you can cancel. Okay, so again I will go to the pipeline. Again, let me edit this one. Okay, I have to change the Ubuntu machine. So Ubuntu latest. Now I will save and queue. Ubuntu latest. I will save and queue. Okay, now it is running on the Ubuntu operating system. So let's see if we can run our Maven project on the Ubuntu machine. So now the job initialization is done. Checked out or git repository on the Ubuntu. Then maven.pom.xml is running, downloading all the dependencies and copying the file to the home work one. This is the location on the Ubuntu. There you can see all the files. That means your git repository and the project, everything you will see there. And the post job. This is the checkout git login. It's a get resource is there, so it's a checkout process. So cleaning any cache creation from the repository. So this repository is checked out on the Ubuntu machine. Now finalizing job. So this is finishing the job. Okay. So now I have run my pipelines on the CI. So continuous integration on the Microsoft hosted agent. Now I want to deploy this code on the Microsoft. So for that I will go to the release, new pipeline, empty job. Okay, stage 1, and I will add this build. So this is my test Azure project source build pipeline. So I will select, suppose which build. So you want to deploy the build. So I will select the build. So which build I want to deploy? Suppose this Ubuntu build. This is my Ubuntu build which I have run recently. Default version latest. Which one is the latest? I am selecting, and this is the job. Through the job, and I will add. Now I want to deploy this build on the stage. one. So stage 1 is the name agent job. So agent name job is the deploy. So on what agent pool, so I will select the Azure pipelines, and on which agent you want to deploy. So I want to deploy on the Ubuntu latest. Okay, and then same thing, you can keep it as it and then save. Okay, and now you can create a release for this one. So stage 1. Okay, and just create, no more modification. So release 1 is has been created. We'll click on this release, and now this is in the queue. So you can check the logs, initializing job, finalizing job. So deployment is the done. Hosted agent means Microsoft agent. I have deployed one code. Agent job deploy. Uh, Currently deployed, succeed to be deployed, release 1. Now I want to deploy this build. So stage 1 commit deploy. So what I will do, just deploy these artifact on the Ubuntu. So for deployment also we need an agent, means on which machine you want to deploy your code. So I want to deploy this code on my stage 1 environment, which is running on the Ubuntu machine. So release 1 it succeed. So deployment is succeed, and you say this one. So this deployment is done. Agent 1 deployment attempt 2. So like this you can deploy your code on the Azure Pipelines agent. Download all the logs. If you want to see the logs, test, how many tests, and you can check here logs, variables, task, and the pipeline. So this is the one release pipeline. This is the continuous deployment task. Okay, and deploy multiple. If you want to do to multiple deployment, you can select this one. As of now, I did one build deployment on the stage 1. So build is executed, and I have deployed this build on the stage 1 environment. Redeploy, if you want to redeploy it, you can say deploy. So when it's queue and waiting for a job, Azure pipelines, and then you can see the logs. If you want to download the log, you can download, and you can check the logs for the deployment, and then you can share with the teams. Okay, so like that how we can uh, do the continuous integration, the deployment of the Microsoft hosted agent.